Yes, so yesterday we started with the professional misconduct schedule 1. Okay, so we'll have a quick recap of what we have learned. So we started with the schedule 1, and schedule 1 has got part 1, which is for CA in practice. Now clause 1, see, if we want to apply for COP, see, then this said practice. Very first question comes there, what is your address? See, that is a mandatory field. You cannot leave it blank. You cannot tell that I am digital, I will be everywhere. So there should be one place of communication, which is your official address. So we will always see that clause 1 starts with the place of your business. Place. Now, do not allow anyone else to practice. Don't allow a non-CA or employee, non-employee, or other than partner. You should not permit anyone else to practice. Yes. Now, clause number 2, you want to get a business, so don't pay percentage of profit or commission. Is there are any exceptions? Yes, you can pay to a member rather than practicing CA. You can pay to the members of professional bodies or qualifications, who are your CS, CMA, architect, actuary, BE, BTech, and MBA. So these are a set of people whom you can pay. Now one question comes, okay, what about the payment to the deceased legal representative? Because they are not chartered accountant, they will not. Okay, what about the government for cooperative audit? Yes, you can pay. Now what about the legal representative? Because they are not auditors. Okay, so there are two situations can come. One, you can be a firm, or you can be a proprietorship concern. If you are a firm, and if there is a clause in the partnership deed that you, after my death, my family member should be paid, okay, even the one partner will remain, okay, because that partner would have taken an entire audit firm, they can pay to the percentage of profits to the legal representative. Okay, but in case of a sole trading concern or a proprietary concern, then within 1 year you have to sell the goodwill. Now, no more percentage of profit, but goodwill amount which was fixed at the time of sale can be paid in EMI. But it should be figured out within 1 year of that. Within 1 year of the death, this business has to be sold. That's it. This is all you have covered in clause number 2. Then we move to the clause number 3. Just like you cannot receive, you pay. You do not receive. And clause number 4, you have, and again, there are some exceptions. You can receive from certain set of people. Clause number 4, you say that no partnership. Yeah, but there are exceptions. One, another CA in practice or professional bodies, except MBA. Okay, here you can receive a fees from an MBA, but you cannot do the partnership with an MBA. And clause number 5, there should not be no other avenue like personal canvassing, sending your employees to get the business. Okay, such type of any other thing which is not open for chartered accountants, you should not be doing it. Yes, now clause number 6 is the very important clause, no solicitation. The personal canvassing and all you cannot do here. So can I do solicitation? Yes, except two conditions. You can solicit with the another CA in practice. Plus you can respond to tenders. Now there are so many questions came from the members because they got confused on certain aspects. So they started to ask certain queries. So now ICAI Council has come with the guidelines, like in the form of a question and answers. They said that, look, these are all the things are permitted to you, but these are all the things are not permitted to you. The very first thing they said, advertisement in the press. No, not permitted. But if you want to do it in a professional journal like Chartered Accountant, you can advertise because it is circulated only among the members. Okay, so this was the first clause we had learned. Advertisement in the notes and the press. That's it. So we discussed that it's not possible. So you have to write these provisions. There are some exceptions. You can request another CA in practice. You can advertise the dissolution of the firm, change in the address, but it should be limited to that bare statement. Classified advertisement can be given in the journal or newsletter of the institute only, our institute, not the company secretary's journal and all. You will give one advertisement there. And but you should give only the name, details, etc. And if your experience is required, you can quote about your experience or specialization. You can say that I am system auditor. That's it. Okay, but no exaggerated claims and all. But that to institute's newsletter or institute's journal. Okay, now let's proceed further. Now, advertisement to you cannot give, but can I give application for empanelment for allotment of the audit and other professional work? So what is this empanelment? Now, see, like for example, this is an institution. Now, this institution will have from time to time, it may be a coaching institution. Now, from time to time, they may have different types of works to be given. Okay. So now, just like a creditor or supplier, not creditor, a supplier will register. We do a supplier registration. Now, just because supplier has done a registration, will he get an order? No, he has just registered. So tomorrow, if any requirement comes, the supplier will be contacted. Okay, will you sell this? Please give me the quote. Like this, there are similar competitors must have registered. So they may ask the quote from everyone. This is how any business works. Commercial department will start asking supplier 1, supplier 2, supplier 3. But if somebody is not registered, supplier 4, he is out of the business. No inquiry will be sent, because very first thing is you should have been a registered supplier. So when you are registering, I will check a lot of criteria. Okay, do you have registered this? Are you an MSME? So many things we will consider, then we will register you. This particular concept is called an empanelment for us. That means first you have to get empaneled. You have to get yourself registered. Okay, what is your conditions with regard to the empanelment? Now, government departments, government companies, courts, anybody, banks, etc., prepare panels of chartered accountants for allotment of the work from time to time. Okay. Now, if you come to know, please understand here, if you come to know the existence of the panel, somehow you know that there is one panel, and only if you register, like for example, the supplier comes to know that if I have to work with this, if I have to get a business, I have to get registered first, and they will accept my registration. So if you know that some existence of the panel, you are free to write to them and request them to place your name in the panel. Are you clear about this? You can write, this is not considered as an advertisement. If already panel is there, I can say that, look sir, I am aware that there is one panel. Please tell me the criteria. I will see whether I am fulfilling or not. If I am fulfilling, I will give my credentials to you. You see whether I am suitable to you or not. Then you register yourself. This type of, because this is very professional, very professional. However, it is not proper to make a roving inquiry. Roving means revolving. You don't know whether you have got this empanelment is there or not, or simply you are asking to have your name included in the panel. So you are sending, okay, first you have sent one letter to the commercial department or whichever department or finance department. Then you send one letter to a director. Then you send another letter to the managing director. See, like you don't know whom to ask. So randomly you start sending them letters to different people, either asking them, is there a panel? Or telling them, look sir, I have already sent, please include me in the name, my name in the panel. See, this doesn't look professional. So this is not permitted. Rowing inquiries are not permitted. Are you clear? And now, since you became empaneled, they may ask you, what is your fees? Like I told you, they will ask quotation from the supplier 1, 2, 3. Now, is it permitted? Yes. If it is permissible to quote the fees when the inquiries are received from such bodies which maintains such a panel. Yes. Okay. But there is some, let's see some question. There is a CA firm sent a letter to GST Council straight away and said that their two partners are specialized in the GST and said the council to include their name in the panel whenever it is formed for providing audit and services, because we are experts. We can help you to solve your problem. We can investigate better. Okay. So are they guilty? Yes, they are guilty because they are not aware that there is a panel. And they said simply randomly they sent one letter. Whenever you form, please include me. Do you have a planner? Then you please include me. Or I have in planner I have already sent, please, but it's still not registered. You can ask one question. Okay, if you have been already registered in the panel, okay, they accept your registration. Now, can you ask them why work is not still allotted? Yes, you can ask this because this is professional. Because there can be possibilities that there is some criteria you are not matching, so that you can get an opportunity to correct. So you can ask them why still work is not allotted to you. But you cannot ask them to include your name in the panel. You cannot ask them, see my panel, my name is already there, please give me the work. You can ask why it is not here. I hope students understood. Now that's it. There is only one question here. Let us see here in the Q&A. Chartered accountant is a proprietor, wrote several letters to the cooperative society registrar. This is your test your knowledge 8 question. Now, what he wrote several letters to the registrar of cooperative society, that firm was on the panel of auditor. No audit work was allotted to the firm, requested to look into the matter. Okay, keep this in mind from the professional misconduct point of view and please answer. So now you say that this is clause number 6. Okay, and you can write the entire clause number 6 with the exception. So this is what your clause number 6 is telling. You can write this particular paragraph. Now, you should not be making roving inquiries. Okay, so the requesting allotment of the audit work, no, you should not be doing it. Letter to ascertain the reason is all right. That means if you are simply asking from the perspective like why the work is not given, that is fine. But I am not given, please look into the matter, please give me the work. That language comes, then there is a professional misconduct. So here you are not clear. Look into the matter means he is asking whether to give the work or he is asking the reason why it is not given. We are not clear. So you can make an assumption accordingly. So accordingly we can say yes, he is guilty because he is asking to request to allot the work to him. He is not asking the reason for why the work is not been allotted. That's why they say that if you are asking reason, then that is fine. But requesting them to allot the work is not fine. Now, Sanjeev and Associates are the firm of chartered accountants, responded to a tender. Wait, the tender part will come next. Responding to the tenders. Okay. So, are you clear about the point number 2? Application for empanelment. Remember this keyword. You cannot make the roving inquiry. Okay. Now, when they ask you, when they come with the tender, they can come with for people who are already part of the empanelment, or it can be a general tender which can be published in the newspaper. Like MRPL can come with one tender that internal audit is there, chartered auditor is there. Please apply. So this type of tenders we get. I see that. Okay, we get emails also coming from the institute. So it is not prohibited to respond to the tenders. Okay, first thing they said, thank God. They said please respond. However, there are some conditions subject to that council guidelines. Okay, now what council guidelines says? See, please understand here. The council has issued a guideline which is in the appendix, which said that a member of the institute shall not respond to any tender in services in areas which are exclusively reserved for chartered accountant, such as audit and attestation. So if you come across any tender for audit, statutory audit, tax audit, no, don't respond to this. Why? What is the logic? They say that, see, now why tenders are called? They want to see who is quoting lowest. So there will be a rush to quote the lowest fees. Okay, other services you quote the lowest, no problem. Like you say they want to do fixed asset register. They wanted to do some sort of like related services, GST returns they want to do, GST returns. Okay, here they are not attestation functions. You are not giving no assurance. So you quote the lowest one. You give 1 rupee, okay, just to get that client, so that you have a pride that telling, look, I got this client. But when it comes to attestation functions, which are exclusively reserved for chartered accountants, you should not respond to such tenders. Why? Because if you start responding, it will result into price cutting, and tomorrow you may quote it only 10,000 rupees MRPL audit, because you want to get that pride reputation of you are the MRPL auditor so that you can publicize it and get other clients. You want to get that contact. But at 10,000 rupees, what sort of audit service you will give? How much attention you will focus? Because audit requires attention, focus. That's why this can happen in the audit. So you should not respond to the tenders, which is exclusively reserved for chartered accountants. Which one? Audited attestation. Okay, but can you quote? Yes, definitely. See, first of all, we are not prohibited, we are permitted, but we should not respond for audit related tenders, but still that also we can quote. When, if restriction shall not apply, if the minimum fees is prescribed. So, point number one, exception. If they tell that, okay, minimum we will pay 50,000 rupees, over and above this you quote, how much you want to quote. If the minimum quote is there, then fine. That means we will not go below this quote. And this must have been reasonably fixed. In that case, you can respond. Or where areas are open for other professionals also, along with the chartered accountant. Like they said, anybody can apply, like internal auditor. Is it that only chartered accountant should apply? No. Anybody can apply. A CMA can apply. Now, in such case, what if the minimum fees is not told? No problem. I can respond it. I can respond to the tenders. So there should be two conditions. Either minimum fee should have been quoted for exclusive chartered accountant related area, or it should not be a non-exclusive area. The minimum fees also, no, see, something they cannot for the namesake say they quote 10,000 rupees. The minimum fees should be commensurate with the size, value and the volume. So before applying also be careful, because for the sake of avoiding so many people, because they know already, they have what one tie up with an auditor. They know that this so many people may apply, they want to come. So that commercial manager can have a tie up. So they can intentionally quote very low fees, 10,000 rupees. And I know that nobody will quote. Then what I will do? I will quote 10,000 rupees. But this matter, if a complaint goes to the institute will first ask question, can you do this MRPL audit in 10,000 rupees? Why did you apply? No, this is not incommensurate. Okay, we told you minimum fees should be incommensurate. First of all, you should not have applied only. Let them revise that fees. When nobody is going to quote, let them revise. But if you vote for that 10,000, our reputation is gone. Okay, so this is what they said about the responding to the tenders. Now, what about the security deposit? Can you keep the security deposits with them? So, I say in view of the inference with the practice prevailing, that security, the council is of the view that interference with the practices prevailing for the requirement of EMD deposit is not required. However, on having received a complaint, instant or exorbitant EMD deposit, ethical standard took view on the matter from case to case basis. Okay, first of all, you should not keep any security deposit because it will create a problem for you only as an auditor. Because you are like a self-interested, they can withhold your security deposit and all. So they said no, you should not keep the security deposit. Okay, but because of some practices which is happening, they said like you ask ethical standard board if you have got a query. So should I keep this deposit or not? Case to case basis you ask. So the cost sheet should be maintained by the members when responding to the tender. That means when you have responded, if they have got 50,000, you don't quote 50,001. Tomorrow when the ICA calls you, somebody complains it, so this is what cutthroat competition is happening. So you need to justify why did you quote 50,000 rupees, 50,001? Where is your cost sheet? Incorporating the details of the cost being incurred, number of persons involved, etc. Same may be called by the institute. So if you don't provide this and simply quote it, tomorrow it becomes professional misconduct because you have violated the ICA council guidelines. You see, so many things you need to remember. You need to do it. So, are you clear, students, about this? Every aspect? But anything they can ask in the question, they are very chalu, ICA. Suddenly they may bring this, that cost sheet was not there. Then you should say is professional misconduct. Why? Because they are supposed to maintain that cost sheet also. Okay, let's see some of the question and you see how beautifully they frame the question. LMN is a chartered accountant responded to a tender. Can they respond? Yes, because CA Act also says, ICA Council guidelines also says. But they have put certain restrictions on the responding to the tender. Okay, who sent that? State government for computerization of the land revenue records. Now, is it an exclusive area? GST audit, is it an exclusive area? Attestation, where only chartered accountant should be doing? No. Okay, that means I can respond. Is it required that I should look for minimum fees? Not required. No minimum fees was required, not required, because it's not an exclusive area. It's not an attestation function. For this, the firm also paid 50,000 rupees as the earnest deposit as part of the tender. Now, comment with reference to CA Act. Yes. So here you say that you are not guilty, because it's not an exclusive area. Minimum fees was not prescribed, it was not required, and you can pay the earnest deposit from time to time if the demand requires, and you can make an inquiry from the ethical standard board. Generally should not have paid, but you can pay by asking to the ethical standard board. Now, firm of chartered accountant responded to a tender exclusively for chartered accountant for tax audit, but no minimum fees was prescribed in the tender document. Comment with reference to the CA Act. Okay, now exclusively for chartered accountant. Okay, 1 minute. I have written as non-guilty. Just see this. Okay, we will see this particular thing, friends. From where I got it, I need to check it. Okay, because no minimum fees was prescribed, but it was a tax audit, attestation related work. Let me see. Now, SR Associates is one of the 3 firms shortlisted by one bank for statutory audit. Now, bank mailed the list of branches along with the maximum fees per branch. They said, we will pay you maximum fees. And this question came in the exam. See how they twist it. And asked them to submit their quotations. Now, SR responded to the bank and submitted their quotation. Okay. Is their response, is there guilty? Yes. Why? First of all, see, they have responded for the tender. Bank asked, now what type of audit? Statutory audit, which is the attestation function. Now, what they should have done? Bank should have told how much minimum fees we will pay. But they told what is the maximum fees? That means they are encouraging fees cutting now. That's why you should say, explain everything and say, yes, they are guilty of professional misconduct because tender providing for the maximum fees and not minimum fees. Okay, now let us see some of the other type of examination questions which they can ask you with regard to this tender. Now, Sanjeev Associates are responded to a tender from a PF office for filing ETDS returns. It is not exclusive area. And they have to keep one earnest money deposit for quoting the tender, 7,500. Open for all the category. Maximum fees is 7,500 per quarter. Leave it. Discuss whether Sanjeev can respond to such tender. So first you need to quote the clause number 6. And Sanjeev, whether Sanjeev can respond? Yes, Sanjeev can respond because it is open for all categories and maximum fees is not applicable. And earnest deposit can be kept case to case based on the ASB recommendations or ASB consultation. Now, this question we already discussed in September. It came that whether maximum fees can be quoted. You say no, this is wrong. Because clause number 6 requires the minimum fees for audit services exclusively reserved and not maximum fees. In the given case, it was maximum fees. That is why you will be guilty of professional misconduct. See, you see the pattern of writing the answer. Now, LMN firm responded to a tender for state government, which you have already seen. Okay, you can respond to the state government because this is not an exclusive area. One RTP question is there. Ajit is a CA. Started coaching institute. Okay. No, this is another advertisement now, another clause. So solicitation, are you clear now? First part of solicitation is what? In the council guidelines. First part of the solicitation is advertisement in press. Second, inquiry for empanelment. Third, responding to tender. Fourth, okay, let us see now. Publication of books, articles and presentation. Now, can you publish the books? Yes, definitely. Can you publish the articles in the newspaper? That is also definitely yes. Okay, can you do certain presentations? Yes. But what you need to take care, don't make this as a tool to do advertisement, because when you publish a book and all, you will come to know about the author. And behind the page, last page, no, there will be some history about the author. So don't take this type of things as a tool to it. Then what happens? Simply you have to print the books. Maybe you tell someone to write something, you book and you distribute that. For marriage also you give that book only as a gift. Everywhere you give that book, your book as a gift. At least people come to know. You see, another way to avoid have an advertisement, because nobody told that book should not be given. No, book you give. Books, you tell knowledge, improvement. People have lost the habit of reading the book. So you can say, I am encouraging. But what is the intention behind? Because you are advertising. So you can publish a book, but it is not permissible to mention in the book or the article or the presentation any of your professional attainments, that I have done this, I have done so many 20 company audits, I am having so many years of experience in handling this type of systems audit, whether of the member or of the firm of chartered accountant. Okay, first thing, no professional attainments. However, I can indicate a designation called chartered accountant so that people get more confidence. Okay, if a book is written by a chartered accountant on tax, people will take it very seriously rather than someone else has written. So you can maintain your designation chartered accountant, and you can write the name of the firm also, which firm you belong to. But other than that, you professional attainment and all not permitted. Now, a chartered accountant published a book and gave his personal details as the author. Also told about the professional experience. So first you are going to talk about clause number 6 as it is. Then you talk about the ICA Council guidelines. Therefore, members should not adopt any indirect method to advertisement. So if we are council as specified, see, this is the second part. Elaborating the form of work. See, up to here, this is coming from the clause. Now council specified that the member is not permitted to maintain any book, any association with any firm of chartered accountants. In this case, published a book and mentioned his professional experience in the detail. S being the chartered accountant in practice committed the professional misconduct. Okay, so here you see there is one catch here. Council specified that a member is not permitted to indicate in its book or article or published by him his association with any firm of chartered accountant. See, did you see here? But this is conflicting with you may indicate designation as well as the name of the firm. So when you are telling the name of the firm, okay, which firm they may be talking here? Okay, they are talking about your firm as an individual. If you when you have written this article, you must have written in your personal capacity. So that's why what you tell chartered accountant. Okay, what if you must have started yourself as a proprietary business? Like for example, me, when I applied for practice, I didn't say Nagabhushan Pai. I said Nagabhushan Pai and Co. Followed? I was not a partnership firm, but I was a proprietary concern. That firm name can be quoted, but they said in the illustration, the firm of chartered accountant should not be quoted. Take this as a clue, because you have to remember, maybe in the examination they can twist it. Yes, let us see. There is only one illustration question. Let us see any other questions is there. Hoarding and pamphlets. No, there is no other question about the publications. So please remember, and in the examination this question comes, please write as it is. Please write this particular paragraph, everything you write. Okay, maybe your conclusion can fetch you 1 mark, which can be wrong, yes or no. But writing these provisions will definitely fetch you 4 marks. So this clause, please mark it important, because there is looks like there is some contradiction. But we can interpret it that firm of chartered accountants you should not quote, but your personal firm you can quote, because you are an individual. Now, issuing of greeting cards and invitations. Okay, so see, ICA is cutting down everything now. What is this? Clause number 4. Your clause number 4 is your issuing of the publication of the books. See, every sort of advertisement they are cutting. Newspaper, no. Roving inquiry, no. Tender, fees cutting, no. Books, publications, articles, no. Means primarily yes, subject to certain conditions. And those conditions see to it that you are not using any of these as a medium of advertisement. Okay, then one question comes. Can I give greetings, New Year greetings and all? Or there is also a problem for you. So some members asked institute, yes, we have got a problem. with issue of the greeting card and invitation. Now, if you want to issue some greeting cards and invitation, because that is a social thing, otherwise people will think what type of person, not even wishing for New Year, not even wishing for Independence Day. Okay, you look like when you are in a different world only. Being in the society, you have to wish each other. So none of the cases they are restricting you. Please understand. Everywhere they have given one or the other exception, but they are not permitting you to take this as one rule to advertise yourself. Now coming back to the greetings again, who is instituted to stop us from issuing invitations, greetings? Okay, but they say that council does not approve issuing of the greeting cards or personal invitations by the member indicating their designation, status, qualification, etc. Otherwise, I will prepare one new Happy New Year new invitation and distribute to everyone. Greetings to everyone. No, don't put your designation, status, and your qualification. However, institute has come with certain one exception. See, your chartered accountant being is a matter of pride. Correct? So during the marriage, have you seen the boys and girls designations are put? If a girl is a doctor, they say MBBS, doctor, son is a chartered accountant. Okay? So, in a proud manner, it is a matter of pride for the parents. They want to put the designation of their kids. First thing they said, invitation, no designation. But there is one exception. And that exception is for the marriage invitations or religious ceremony. They say that designation chartered accountant can be put in the marriages or religious ceremonies or opening or inauguration of the office. Or when you change your premises, change your telephone numbers, etc. Yes, you can prepare one card and you can send to your customers and all, provided such greeting cards and invitation cards are only sent to your clients, relatives, and friends of the member concerned. Have you ever seen students in any marriage invitation where they said, okay, please invite, blessings is what is that called? Your presence is the blessing. And bottom, have you seen, we will make PAN card at 100 rupees. Have you seen such invitation card, marriage invitation? No, boy or girl is a chartered accountant. Have they put any advertisement there? We will do tax audit and other stuff. No, that's why institute gave one relaxation. You see how we are thinking. But what they said, look, again, this you should not take it as an means of advertisement. So you make invitation, there you put a chartered accountant designation, but give to your clients, relatives, friends of you only, not your members. Like there can be two partners. If it's my marriage, okay, why I should give my marriage invitation to my friends, partners, relative? I should call my partner. Why I should call for their relatives, their mama, chacha, panja, his friends? Why I should be calling? This becomes professional misconduct. Can I call? Yes, I can call without mentioning chartered accountant. I can call anybody in the world. I can put like a newspaper advertisement. Okay, just like for the death and all, sometime advertisement comes. No, they say that look, those people who could not get the invitation in time think that this advertisement itself is the invitation. That 12th day ceremony is conducted in so and so temple. Please come there. And like this, someone can put an advertisement in the newspaper also that this is my marriage. Okay, those are all the people who didn't get the invitation. Please come to this marriage in so and so place. But don't tell your designation chartered accountant. If you want to tell the chartered accountant, then give this invitation only to your relatives, not your other members or partners relative. Now, Srishti and Mishti are two partners. Now, Srishti organized one religious ceremony, some housewarming, whatever. Invited instructions. She instructed her printing agent to hand her designation as a chartered accountant. Is this fine? Yes, perfect. Later, they were distributed to all the relatives. Whose relatives? Her relatives. That's fine. Her friends of both the partner. Now she got into a problem. Okay, there may be two partners. But why her housewarming ceremony, her partner's relative should be called? So, she is not guilty of printing the invitation and having the designation, but guilty for sending her this to the relatives of the partner. This is how they will ask you examination questions. But need not worry, because again I'm telling you, you will lose only 1 mark for that conclusion. But the majority of the 4 marks will go for the provisions only, no? That's why you have to remember the provision, you have to tell the provision. Now, advertisement for silver, gold, platinum and centenary celebration. Can you do? Yes, definitely. Because what is this silver? That means you completed 25 years. You have completed 50 years, 75 years, 100 years. Now, if you are, see, when you are having a birthday, okay, generally people expect you to give party. Like suppose you completed 50 years of marriage. Generally, you will have one function. You will invite all the friends, relatives, because you celebrate it. Otherwise, what people will think? No, they think that you must be miser. I don't want to give any like food also to all the relatives. Like this is what they think. Correct? So same thing happens in the social thing, like in the social setup, where someone has completed 25 years of setting up the practice. And then other friends, relatives, and all say, "Arey Baba, this is a milestone. You have spent 25 years. So why don't you give a party?" Okay. Now, please note here, you can give the party and all, not an issue, but not permitted to advertise the events organized by the firm of chartered accountant. You don't advertise any events that we are celebrating 25 years and doing so and so. However, considering the need for interpersonal socialization, relationship of the members, such get-together occasions, the advertisement for silver, golden, diamond is 60, platinum is 70, and centenary 7 may be published in the newspaper or the newsletter. Okay. So, we will permit you only these particular like silver, golden, platinum, centenary celebration, but don't publish one that we successfully completed 10 years. So, this is what you see today. They are not aware probably that they are not supposed to publish. Every 7 years we completed. They start giving advertisements. We are successful. 7 years back we were nothing. Today, see, this is how people give the publications and all. No, none of the media you should do. But here in the newspaper, you are permitted to give the advertisement that congratulations because you completed 25 years, 100 years, 50 years, whatever. I hope it's also clear. So here we can say point number 6. I hope you are also noting, students. Okay, here this is advertisement for 25 to 100 year celebration, or I can say advertisement for milestone celebration. Best thing, milestone celebration. That means whatever 25 years you completed minimum. From there it is permitted. Okay, now can you sponsor? Okay, in IDT only you will come across about the sponsoring. Okay, whether that sponsoring is free of cost or tax is applicable. No, because sponsoring also somebody could have taken as an advertisement. No, and you see, somebody, I am wondering, some people die. Okay, so they say condolences message and all this, and in the Udayavani, it sees at the bottom, no, their construction name, their business name. It is very prominent there. Now, some people you see, beautiful. That's the truth. They don't tell their name also. Friends. That's the true form, because they don't want someone to know, okay, that okay, we have given. But their descriptions are more than the person who have died there. So this can be another form of advertisement, sponsoring. So what ICA says about the sponsoring, a member in practice or a firm of chartered accountant is not permitted to sponsor an event. Very nice. Then what happened? No, if anybody comes, no, you say our ICA is not permitting. So you got one excuse. ICA has told us that we will become professional misconduct. So don't come to me. Any temple, any CSR, okay, child education and all. If anybody comes, you take this, what is that called? ICA council guidelines and show them, look, our ICA has not permitted me to sponsor. No, there are some exceptions. What is that exception? However, such a member can sponsor an event conducted by the program organizing unit of the ICAI. Okay, if ICA is conducting something, there you can sponsor, provided such event has the pre-approval of the continuing professional education of the Directorate of ICA. Like ICA is conducting some Swachhata mission program or some child education program. Yeah, because these type of programs will happen. There you can sponsor. Okay. Now, what is the catch in sponsoring here? Are they telling don't need to sponsor? No, they are not telling don't sponsor. Members sponsoring activities related to CSR, like any sponsoring or temple, whatever, may mention their individual name with the prefix CA, but the name of the firm CA logo is not permitted. That means if any temple person people come, don't show them code of ethics. Our ICA is not permitted us to sponsor. You can sponsor. You can do any sponsorship. But don't take that sponsorship as a means to advertise. Like when it is sponsored, when they say, sir, what we should put your name, you say CA Nagabhushan. Don't tell chartered accountant, firm name, my CA logo. Because if you are doing it along with your name, that means you must be trying to advertise yourself in the name of sponsor. Okay, so only CA is prefixed and not chartered accountant because it reflects personal contribution rather than a marketing initiative. You can say CA Nagabhushan has contributed so much money for this activity, not chartered accountant, logo, firm name, etc. Are you clear? Yes. There are no questions on this because next question is our hoarding and pamphlets for educational institutions. Yes, now this comes the coaching. Yeah, previously we had come across, then I told, okay, we will not go through. Now we will go through. Now, can members enter into coaching? Obviously, yes, because first 3 years of your practice, you don't have any practice at all because you have to work with others. It is a very struggling time. That's why our ICA has permitted that you can do teaching and coaching activity. Later, they have given a general permission. Now, members are engaged in teaching and coaching activity while advertising. Okay, now you tell me, if I am into teaching or if I am doing coaching, should I not advertise? Otherwise, how students will come to know? Okay, now I need to comply with the regulation 190 of the Chartered Accountants regulations. Okay, what is this advertisement guideline? We'll see that later. Now, keeping in view of the purview of clause number 6, an advertisement of coaching or teaching activity also may result into indirect solicitation. Therefore, it may violate. So, what people can do, chartered accountant can do, they can take teaching as a part-time profession so that they get connected to so many other CAs. They will get connected to the parents. See, if you are teaching, okay, for example, I'm teaching, okay, and to you, your parents will come to know. Oh, they feel very happy, and through this, one relationship will be built. So, why you are doing teaching? Is it because you are passionate? No, this is also one strategy so that you will develop the contacts with the people. Now, in the meantime, so what you do? You start doing advertisement also. So they say, look, if you are permitted to do teaching 28 hours per week, we will permit you. You need not ask permission from us, but you should be abstained from advertising or your any association with the coaching institutes through holdings, posters, banners, or any other means. So don't put like any coaching institute. No, today you see in the newspaper when advertisement comes, admission open. Okay, you see one big hoardings there whenever you travel. Such type of advertisement a practicing CA should not do. However, what you can do, you can put one signboard in front of your office or coaching, wherever you take coaching. You can give a name to the coaching institute. Like for example, I have given 36th chamber. I can have one board, 36th chamber. But this is only where I teach, not everywhere. Like you see, some people put a banner everywhere. Some people will put one big hoarding. No, that is not permitted. One signboard. Which type of signboard? Exactly a signboard which a practicing CA will do. Have you seen any lights? Okay, very big board. No, there are some restrictions that it should be a white color. Okay, it should have this font. Yeah, there are some restrictions. There is some another guideline for the what should be the size of the signboard in front of your office. Like doctors and all, they will put like all the red color signs so that in the night also it will be very visible. No, this type of signboards are not permitted. That's why you see any practicing CS signboard. It's a plain white signboard. Now you can give similar signboard you can have for the coaching institute also. You can give your contact and just to tell what subject you teach. Size and the type of the signboard should be applicable to the firm of chartered accountants. Like what is applicable to a firm of chartered accountant, same thing becomes applicable to you. but you can give only your name of the coaching institute, contact details, and your subject taught. Now, let us see one question, what they will ask you. Ajit is a practicing CA, started coaching institute for CA aspirants in Delhi. Can he do this? Yes. Do you need to take a permission? No. Provided it has got only 28 hours in a week. He displayed one large hoarding across the city stating coaching by CA Ajit. This is wrong. Also undertaking tax audit attestation. See, this is double wrong. First of all, you should not have done such hoarding and tell only coaching by CA Ajit. This is also wrong. And in that hoarding, you have told about tax audits also. So two violations have happened now. He also circulated a pamphlets in the commercial area inviting business to appoint him as a statutory auditor. This is like a roving inquiry. See, multiple clauses you attract now. It is clause number 6 only, but multiple council guidelines. Further, he responded to a tender. See, one more question they added. Listed for the statutory audit. The tender document did not prescribe the minimum fees. Audit and destination was exclusively for. See, from multiple angles they have violated. But all the violations are schedule 1 only. That's why this matter can go and maximum 3 months they can remove his membership. But they can give a warning. Okay, don't do this. Examine. See, when they use the word examine, you see multiple issues. Issue number 1, issue number 2, issue number 3. Multiple issues are there. So, is he guilty? So, you have to quote all those issues. So, para number 6 you tell, and display the hoarding of advertisement is also circulated pamphlets. Such clearly amounts to direct solicitation. Member may display the signboard and you will write that, but not promotional advertisements are not permitted. Then you have to quote about the tender, that he is guilty for the tender also, because they should have put in the minimum fees. And hoarding is also not permitted. Only that small board is permitted where he is practicing. So there are 3 issues. So accordingly the step marks will go for 3 issues. Now Puran is a practicing CA, uploaded educational videos on YouTube. Can he do that? Of course, why not? For the benefit of students and young professionals. Definitely you can do it. In these videos, he introduced himself as a partner in Puran and Associates. Okay. That means if we permit you, then every day you sit and do one video only. Something you will come with one concept. And every time you say that I am a partner in so and so. So what you are doing? You are trying to do this video for the benefit of the students or publicity of your firm, and display the firm website address, everything. Comment with respect to the CA Act. Now you have to quote clause number 6. Now ICA Council guideline, I think further we will get this, somewhere educational videos they have told. Yes, anyhow, we will see these questions. They said when it comes to educational video, you are permitted to upload the video. Okay, but you should not make any reference of the firm where you are a partner, should not contain any contact details of the or website address. So in the given case you have done that, so you will be guilty of professional misconduct. Okay, let us see now. Soliciting, sharing of the firms with the prospective clients, not permitted. You cannot share the firm profile with the prospective clients unless it is in response to the client's specific query. Otherwise it becomes a roving inquiry. If the client is asking, then you can give your profile, but on your own you should not give your profile. Now, there are questions? There are no questions. Television or movie credits. Okay, you have seen students after movie is done or before movie, they always give one they say thanks to. And you see that there is one of the person in that list of thanks to is the auditor. So while sharing the name of the member for inclusion in the television or movie credits, you should see that your exhibition of the name is not made differently as compared to other people in the credits. That means when I am telling thanks to, you please know Bahubali, best example I can tell. Bahubali movie came. At the end there were thanks to, and there was one of the thanks to I observed, there is one CA firm which have audited that. Now they could have requested no Bahubali, these members, first you put my name in the first only. Bahubali has become worldwide famous. And that, do you know who is the auditor of that Bahubali movie? You don't know. But what if that person's name would have come in the first, before beginning only? Like thanks to so and so, remembering so and so, and thanks to our auditor so and so. Now everybody would have remembered this particular name. Oh, you are Bahubali movie auditor. No, this becomes some professional misconduct. Okay, so there is one minute. There is one query. Okay, so advertisement guideline is not applicable to me because I am not into practice. Okay, that's why I can advertise anything. That's the reason I left my COP. Because if I am having COP, then this creates a problem for me. I'm not bound by any advertisement. That's why I can send any advertisement. I can give my name. I can give my address. But if I've been practicing, then this creates a problem because I'm bound by the advertisement guideline. That's what they say. That if you are doing coaching along with the practice, then you are bound by regulation 198. Then I cannot put a holdings and all. I have to just follow this, just like a practice in C, I have to put one small board. Okay, so because of all these reasons, I thought better not to get into it. Because see, more importantly, we have to focus. We cannot be full time into teaching also. There's one more restriction that more than 28 hours you want to teaching, then you need to take a permission. So instead of all these things, better see, if we don't practice, better to leave it, no? Now, okay, next is what? Your profile and movie credit. Yeah, you can make a note and remember this, practice this. Now, soliciting professional work by making roving inquiry, like sending email, letter, circulars, not likely to require the service. So we can also add this because we already discussed it. Roving inquiry. Roving inquiry means moving inquiry. Previously, they gave an example somewhere. Okay, so that example is coming from here. Now, seeking work from the professional colleagues. Okay, can you see? Yes, the issue of advertisement or circular, seeking work from the professional work basis is except as provided in the violation. So, what is provided now? You can advertisement in the form of a journal. You can send one personal profile to another practice in CA. That is permitted. So, other than that, you should not seek work from professional accountants. So you should not work from the professional colleagues other than what they have permitted. Like putting one advertisement in the chartered accountant journal. That is the way you should seek work. Or you may send one letter. That is also work. But you cannot just put one advertisement somewhere or in the you make one video and send one video. Such type of things are not permitted. Now, scope of representation which auditor is entitled to make under section 143. Okay, so we can say now point number 12 is representation. Now, what is this representation? Suppose if the auditor is removed or if the auditor is changed, they have got one power to make one representation under section 144 of the Companies Act. Like if you are removed, you will feel very bad, but you should be given an opportunity of being heard. But you know that this representation will be sent to every members of the company. Now, company will have 2000 members. Now, since one letter will go to all the 2000 members, your representation will be sent. Can't you write something in that representation letter? First of all, this will catch the attention of all the people. And people come to know that, oh, so-and-so auditor exists in this world. So, someone can take this particular representation as a means to advertise themselves. Anyhow, they are going from the outside, out of that company. They have been removed from that company. So, when they are removed, they got a right to make a representation and you will misuse that representation to become more famous. So, what our ICS is that, see, you have got a right of sending representation under Companies Act, but don't misuse it by wording his representation and abusing that opportunity to take needless publicity, canvassing or solicitation. Letter should be sent in a very dignified manner. You should say that I am independent and if you reappoint me, I am willing to continue. That's it. But don't tell that I have contributed, I have significant internal controls I have done. Okay, I have got so much experience and I have helped the organization to save 2 crore rupees. That type of wordings is coming, no? Then you become professional misconduct and it will amount to solicitation. Are there any questions on this? Yes, there is one representation related question. A special notice was issued for the resolution of 3rd AGM, providing expressly that CA shall not be reappointed as an auditor. Chalo, because of this, he got a right to represent now. In the representation, he incorporated his independent working, which is permitted. Perfect. Throughout the term of the office, and his willingness to continue as an auditor if reappointed. Is it fine? Perfectly fine. He is not guilty of professional misconduct. First of all, you are going to quote all the provisions here, clause number 6, and your ICA council guidelines, which talks about this particular council guideline. And this said you will not be guilty because you didn't tell anything. Your wordings are very professional. Okay, now let us see another case. Special notice was given for not reappointing one. So in the writing, he submitted one representation and asked, please give to the members. In the detail, he included contributions made by him for strengthening of the internal control and indicated his willingness to continue if you are appointed. See, this part is fine. Why you are telling about your contributions and all? So first you write about all the provision, but then you say you are held guilty because you are trying to canvass yourself and seeking unnecessary publicity by telling your contributions. So you are guilty of professional misconduct. Now, acceptance of professional work emanating from the client introduced by the another member. Okay, so new client, you can write new client from ICA member. Okay, what is this concept of a new client? See, what can happen, students? Okay, I can give an example. You go into one Lions Club meeting. In Lions Club meeting, generally, you see in movies also, you are introduced, common friends are there. Okay, so you will be introduced to a third party. Okay, meet Mr. Nagabhushan Pai. He is also practicing CA. So I was introduced to one of the client. Now, who introduced me? That is one important question. So there can be two scenarios or three scenarios. There can be three scenarios. One, this is one client. This is one businessman. This is me. Now, I could have been introduced by three people. One, a lawyer. Lawyer and this businessman are very friends. And this lawyer introduced me, says, oh, Nagabhushan is the practicing CA. This is the CA. Somehow they know, but they don't have any business relationship. And they will introduce to me. But this is a CA who is giving some service to this particular person. Please understand the third category. And he will introduce me. Now, next day, can I go to this particular businessman and say, get the work? In the first two cases, yes. But in the third case, or businessman come to me and say, Baba, please do this job. This is done by this particular person. I am not happy with his work. Can I accept it? No. If he comes to me and offers this person's job, I should tell him, you please come with them. I can accept it provided this person permits me. You should come with him. It should not happen that I should be, it is called a poaching of the client. Okay, just because you introduce, see, then what happens now? These two people will lose the trust on each other. In order to maintain that bond, okay, so that one member should be trusting another member, they brought this clause. They said that you should not accept the original professional work first time. Original means first time by a member emanating from the client introduced to him by another member. So member should not accept the original introduced by another member. If any professional work comes to him directly, like such work comes to him, it is his duty to ask, let it come through the other member dealing generally with this original work. Like CAX refers his client to CAY for taxation advice for some work. Now later client requests to take the audit also, which is currently taken by X. The one who introduced, he will feel very bad. Hey, Baba, what is this? I introduced to you and you are taking my job only. Yes, this cannot happen because this will amount to poaching. Okay, so they said this cannot be done. Now, during the opening ceremony of new branch, CA Young with the CA Old, both are friends. CA Old introduced CA Young to CA Rich. Rich is a businessman. Now, the owner of export house, whose accounts were audited by this old fellow. CA Old more than 15 years. After a few days, Rich straight away came to Young and said, Baba, take this certification work. Now, Young undertook the work for a fees which is less than, even not less than, which is charged by Old. So, what Old was charging, same, your Young is also charging. It is not that I got this client by undercutting. So that I only went and told Baba, see, I will pay you, I will give you 20% discount in the fees, you come to me. Is there a professional misconduct? Answer is yes. Okay. He is guilty of professional misconduct because you should have come through. Is a new work which he is getting from a client introduced by another CA who is generally dealing with his work. So you should have come through him only. Yes. A partner. Okay. TV interviews, public interviews. Next one is interview. So one is the movie credit where you don't appear. In the TV serial or movies, your name will appear. Is it possible that you could have given public interviews? Yes, you could have given public interviews. Okay. A lot of people will give the interviews today, sitting in the newspaper, okay, news channels. They will give their opinion about the India, about the world, about US war, impact on the economy. So many things, public interviews we give. While giving the interview or otherwise furnishing details about themselves or their firms in the public interview or in the press or any other forum like broadcast, the member should ensure that they doesn't result into publicity. That means you are not trying to give publicity. You are there because you are knowledgeable, your views are respected, people can make use of your views in that public interview. But that opportunity, we will not stop you from doing it. You can always give public interviews. But such platforms should not be taken as a medium to publicity. Due care should be taken to see that interviews or details about the members or their firms are not given in a manner of highlighting the professional attainment. So they are very professional chartered accountant, they have done the Satyam audit, fraud, they have only detected. Such type of things you should not tell. Any details which is given must be in addition to the meeting above requirement, response to the specific query or factual nature only. Okay, if anybody is asking you, if you have given any detail, somebody asked you in the interview, so do you have any prior experience? You are telling about this thing. Have you worked in that field? If anybody asks me, then you should not tell, no, ICA has not permitted to tell our professional attainment and all. No, you can give a response to a specific question and what is factual only. Yes, you can say this, I spent 15 years in that field, so I know that how it works. But again, don't make this as another medium to publicity. That means that person who is asking question is your person only. Through that you will get publicity again. No, because if it is proved somewhere this is happening, you will become guilty. So partner of a firm during TV interview handed over a biodata of his firm to the chairperson. And biodata started to tell the standing of the international firm, association, etc., achievements of the partner, recognition as an expert. And chairperson didn't know, he simply read out. Have you observed, friends? This is what happens. Whenever you see in the public gathering, like suppose somebody is invited as a chief guest. Have you seen now chief guests when introduction happens? So many things are told about the chief guest. Do you know from where it came? The one who comes as a chief guest, they only will give. Otherwise, how on earth they know? Publisher, the organizers. Organizers don't know, so they ask about you. So whatever big words are told, please understand everything is given by that chief guest only. Any interview you observe from now. So they say, and tomorrow don't blame them. Organizers told, I didn't knew. So whenever any organizers are having such program, so you please see to it that what you give, you be careful. Yes, you are guilty of professional misconduct. You see now, students, we are in still clause number 6. Yeah, I'm going a bit slow. But you see so many points, so many questions. Members or firms who publish their advertisement under box numbers. Okay, today it doesn't work out. The box numbers are like this post box number. So once upon a time there were post boxes. You used to just write your post box number. They used to put that letter in the post box. It was having a lock. You used to come and take that. Members are prohibited from inserting advertisement or soliciting under the box numbers in the newspapers. I am sorry, this is not that post box. Okay, post box is a separate concept. Okay, they should not put any advertisement under box numbers. Box numbers means like this, classified. You see classified, all in small boxes. This book is required, security is required, we will give this type of offer, we are Jyotisha. So in the one particular page, you see one classified, newspapers gives this classified. in the box. A such type of classified advertisement you should not give. Yes, educational video was here. Okay, we can say here no box numbers, no box advertisement, and educational video. So you have to practice everything. Now coming back to educational ideas, yes, you may upload the video in the internet, but you should not make any reference to the firm, partner or a proprietor. No contact details, no website address. Yes, I hope students you are very clear. Okay. Now let us see some illustration question. Okay, now let's see. Biodata related. Okay, there was one biodata related. We have already done that. We'll see. A partner during attending one TV interview. Can he attend? Definitely. He handed over a biodata to the chairperson. Okay, just now we have seen no, that he told about all the achievements and other things. No, this is not permitted. You should be very careful. He will be held guilty. Advertisement was published in the newspaper containing photograph of Mr. X, wherein he was congratulated on the occasion of opening ceremony of his office. Discuss the matter with the keeping. No, opening ceremony and all you should not do. Okay, so advertisement in the newspaper containing the photograph of the opening not permitted because it amounts to solicitation. Held will be guilty. You will be held guilty of solicitation. Okay, so you can write about clause number 6. Such advertisement in the newspaper, your photographs, such type of things are not permitted. Now, chartered accountant published a book and gave his personal details as the author. Now, can he do that? No. Okay, being a chartered accountant in practice, he has committed the professional misconduct because he can tell chartered accountant, but he cannot give any other details, professional attainments, okay, his firm name, such type of things cannot be given. Okay, already we have seen the book related thing. Clause number 6, ICAI Council guidelines. Now, hosting of the details on the website. Okay, so there is something called a website guidelines, which we will see later. But anyhow, we will go through this. XYZ is the firm created a website called xyzindia.com. And the website, besides containing the details of the firm and the biodata, consists of passport size photographs. Okay, so we will again discuss later website guidelines, which are discussed later. Anyhow, we will read it. So they said that hosting of the details of the website as per the council guidelines laid down in clause number 6, part number 1, first schedule to the chartered accountant, the firm can create its own website. I think I should have placed it after one thing here. No, in the next advertisement it comes actually. In the advertisement, they have got one more point. It's about the website. Anyhow, we will read this Q&A. Now, they have it can create its own website. However, website should be so designed, it should not solicit the client. Now, XYZ firm, but why did you bring India? India should not be brought. You should have got, okay, you can bring India provided if it is not available, xyz.com is not available. You should very closely resemble, but you should not create any website called taxaudit.com. No, this type of website domain names are not permitted. It should be very resembling to your firm name. Yes, xyzindia.com is fine. However, website should be designed. It should not amount to indirect solicitation. Photograph is permitted with the biodata of the partner. So in the given case, there is no violation because in the website you can have the photographs. LMN responded to a tender from the state government, which you have already discussed. You have already seen this. So you are not conducted any misconduct. Then honest chartered accountant wrote 2 letters of the CA firms to allot some work. He did not have a significant practice of clients. He wrote to a letter to ABC firm of chartered accountant for securing the work. Okay, already we have seen this previously. Okay, he has not committed a mistake because he is free to write to other members who are in practice. But business, you cannot do such rowing inquiry. Yes, posting details on the website, securing the professional work. Okay, we'll see. We'll go through students. xyzindia.com. Okay, this we have already seen. Now, honest chartered accountant wrote 2 letters to XYZ firm of accountants. He did not have any work. Yes, you can tell because he is not guilty. In this case, honest wrote letter only to other chartered accountants XY and ABC So he is not committed any professional misconduct. Okay, one question came in ICA exam. Arora and Taneja, firm of chartered accountant with 4 partners, recently recognized for the strong commitment to professional development and community service also. Very good. Now, following instances came to the light. So ICA conducted one support program. The firm contributed to the financial reporting update seminar organized by the ICA. The event had a prior approval from the CP Directorate, and the firm's name was included among the sponsors of the ICA circular. Can you do this? Perfectly, yes. Because who comes here? All the professionals only comes. And this is the program for organizing. This is your objective of such program is having that networking, so that people will becoming knowing. So they are helping us only. Yes, this is permitted. CSR activity. He personally financed one clean water drive. He can do it. Definitely could have done. An initiative by CA Anjit Taneja. Perfect. But partner, chartered accountant, logo, these were not permitted. Now, analyze means you have to talk about both the cases. So, you will quote about clause number 6 and you will talk about the ICA Council guidelines on your sponsoring. In the given case, Taneja not to be guilty of professional misconduct because he has complied with whatever the sponsorship he has done. It is all the ICA POU. But in the second case, he was permitted only to tell CA, but he told CA but told about his firm details and other things, post logo and all. So he will be guilty of professional misconduct. Very big clause, friends. And see how many questions they have asked. Each are different type. So are you clear now? Clause number 6. I don't know. After some clause like clause 6, clause 7, clause 12, clause 11. These are all the very big clause. Afterwards, maybe in one session, only a lot of things. We will finish complete schedule 2. Council guidelines, everything will move. This particular place is where you have to focus. So, study the clause and all this you please memorize because you have to quote it. I have shown you every single examination question, like how to write it, what clause. See, everywhere they start with clause number 6. And then they talk about that particular concerning council guidelines of that particular council guidelines only. Study it. Okay, students, so we'll continue tomorrow. So, yeah, because if you start clause 7 is also like brother of clause number 6, advertisement. So, in this advertisement, we will talk about the designation. Already we have seen, like mentioning, so many things are there. Then your website also comes here somewhere. And website will go into sub-site once the networking comes. Logo, ICA logo. See, so many things will come. So, it will go into pages. So, what we will do instead of doing rushing and trying to figure out, yeah, we will start fresh with the clause number 7 tomorrow. Yes, thank you, students.